Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Blake. Welcome to Trithegoulash.
This is Alex.
And it's Willie.
Today, episode 2, season dose.
Double deuce, baby. Dropping poops.
That's my favorite number.
It is my favorite number as well.
2.
Is it really yours?
You like 2?
Yeah. That was like my number playing soccer since I had it for like 4 or 5 years.
I always got lucky, like when I was playing a card game or something with 2. What's your favorite number, Al?
I don't want to say because I don't want to offend the other numbers in public.
I bet. Can I guess it?
69?
No.
7.
Close.
6.
That's also close.
It's 5.
Close.
Funny joke, dude. Not really, though.
4?
Yeah, you should have kept going. It's 4.
Shut the
Just
fuck
kidding.
up.
It's not.
Shut up, dude. Just be quiet. Hey,
Well, Al's playing games, and that's what we're talking about today.
Oh,
but
really?
before we get into that, I just wanna say hi. No.
Didn't you
Hey.
already say that?
Hey, Will. How are you, bud? You doing all right today?
No, dude.
No.
What's
No.
wrong?
Talk to an adult.
What's
I
wrong?
don't know. I don't know what I was gonna say.
Okay, so talking about
Right.
games. Didn't we already talk about games?
We did talk about games, but today we're going to be talking about video games.
Oh shit! Don't even start.
All right, let's talk about them. What do you guys think of video games?
I think they're a complete waste of time.
Like the concept of video games is very crazy. Like I was
is
thinking
weird.
about this earlier. I have a controller in my fingers, or in my hands. Jesus, I use my fingers, and like I get satisfaction out of relaying that to the screen, and
Just
it's
tickling
just
those
really,
sticks.
it's really
No, you
silly.
to-
But I get a lot of enjoyment out of them at the same time.
You definitely get like dopamine flow and stuff. Like if I get rewarded in a video game, I feel it. I'm like, oh, I got that thing,
Yeah, especially a difficult video game.
but it's not real.
Well, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, they're it's a weird thing. It's a weird concept. We talked about this in games a little bit, but I've been playing them my whole life, like since I was 5. And I did think they were a waste of time for a while.
Yeah.
Well, I liked it, but I still thought it was a waste of time. My parents definitely thought it was a waste of time. But now, in fucking 2018, there's people that it's not a waste of time, and they're getting
Yeah.
paid 6 figures playing video games. So
Esports is a crazy, crazy thing.
it's exploding.
It is. It really is. Video games, tournaments, crazy.
Yeah, so if you're listening, you play video games, don't give up on your dreams.
Yeah.
Just keep playing. Never stop playing. If you have to poop, do it in your pants.
Yeah,
You
do
guys-
it like Cartman did.
Guys, I had
Yeah.
Playing WoW.
I had this grade school friend.
I love that episode.
I had this is no joke. I had this grade school friend that was a serious gamer. His name was Dominic. He's a great guy. And he played video games a lot. So much so, in one of his gaming magazines, they sold a basically pop-up urinal. So you didn't have to get up to go to the bathroom, and he bought it. I never used it, though, just for the record.
A pop-up urinal?
Like, it just wrapped around your dick, or I guess your vagina. I don't know how it would have worked for a...
It's probably a little
Those
messy.
cats are coming back.
Yeah, they are.
Cats are messy.
But then you just peed and kept playing video games. Like, that's a little extreme. Just get up and go to the bathroom.
Pause that shit. You can take a few seconds out of your day to go relieve yourself.
I
If
mean,
you can, you're a piece of shit.
I totally
You're
remember.
gonna sit in your own shit too.
Yeah. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Will,
Well,
calm down.
I mean, it's the truth.
No, it's true.
But
Yep.
And that's
All right.
And that's about that. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Video games.
I just want to say this because I meant to say it earlier, but Like, once I got out of college, back in like high school, I was like, yeah, once college is over, I'm totally gonna stop playing video games. And it's kind of crazy because I haven't.
Not only
I don't have as much time to play them as I did like in college or in high school, but I still play. Still enjoy it.
Not only did I think the same thing and it pick up, but now that I'm an adult and I have a disposable income, I probably am spending more on the hobby now than ever.
Yeah, it's easy. It's much easier. You don't have to worry about it as much.
But I'm like pickier
money-wise?
now.
Yeah,
I'm like pickier now though.
I totally am too, and I don't have the patience that I used to have playing
I don't
video
either.
games. Like, I used to be able to like sit down and play for like 2-3 hours at a time, and now like if I play an hour, I think that's like a long time. I'm just like, whoo,
I agree.
I gotta do something else.
I got a shit.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, I've played video games all my life as well. Probably since I was like 5. I had a Super Nintendo.
That's cool.
And I played it all the time in my room when I was a kid because I was just really bored and that's what I had to do, I guess. And it was kind of just like a babysitter, like video games were a babysitter.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like
totally.
the TV in general.
Totally.
It still is. Now they have iPads.
Yeah.
And they're just like glued onto their iPads or their parents' phones. But I don't really play video games except for when you guys
Force you.
encourage me to do so with you. Literally bought a game last year and played like 15% through and stopped.
Yeah, I mean that happens.
Yep.
I used to never do that as a kid too. Like I would always finish what I had, probably because I couldn't afford to buy new ones.
I think I've spent less than $100 on video games in the past like 3 years.
Yeah, well, I spent $100 probably this year on video games. I don't know, probably not.
If you've bought a few games.
Oh, I totally have. I definitely have.
I've only bought like 2 games, I think.
What do you guys think of VR?
Yeah, that shit makes me motion sickness.
I-
Number one.
Have
I'm
you
not
both-
excited.
Have you both done it?
Yes,
Yeah.
we've
Have
you
done
done
it.
Mm-hmm. In here.
Yeah, in this
Really?
room. Yeah.
In this room.
What on
Luke had the what was it called?
PSVR?
No, he has like a
The
VR.
Oculus?
Yes, the Oculus.
Nice. I didn't. Does he still have that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Damn, I didn't even know.
I don't know. It's cool. It's very, very cool. Like the technology behind it, awesome. But in terms of gaming, I don't think I would like basically the games that we have today going in that route.
I mean, it's definitely
gonna happen. I know that it is, but
it definitely goes against the like traditional feel of a video game.
Yeah.
Like you don't have a controller. Well, I guess you do. You might, but the feel is just really different. Yeah, I did one of those 5D things, VR simulators where it's 3D. You also have the sound, and then on top of that, the thing you're in is moving as well. And I about threw up everywhere. It was awful. But yeah, I think that. Do you guys think it's going to progress to the point where?
Like Ready Player One.
Yes. Do you think that's going to happen? Like maybe not that. That's like super science fiction, but.
well, we gotta explain what Ready Player One
Yeah,
is
that's a
to.
good call. It's just like, do you
the
think
audience.
VR is going to get super realistic and
control the world essentially?
maybe not control the world, but like, do you think people are going to be able to like go into these games and
have a completely
like
different life.
You know how people do that already on like World of Warcraft and stuff like that? Do you think if that gets to VR, people are just going to like shut down?
Of course.
I mean, you're right.
It's just a more in-depth version of game. I mean, people already envelop their lives with video games with a 2D screen.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Virtual reality is just going to be even more intoxicating and enveloping. People are going to just completely... I feel like it's going to be a whole evolution of a breed of a person. Like the most and I'm not even trying to criticize like introverted people, because I'm pretty introverted and I like people leaving the fuck alone, but there's gonna be a whole new level of introverted people, like a breed of person that just probably doesn't even exist outside of virtual reality. Because at that point, Amazon's gonna have their shit together with the drones. We're gonna have Walmart probably doing the same thing. So you probably will never even have to leave your house in the future. Like, it's pretty realistic to think that somebody can entirely. Well, yeah. So what? They're probably gonna spend so much of their life, they'll probably get paid to do video games. There's people getting paid for Instagram.
The funny thing about that is, that sounds antisocial, but it's very social. Like, the person's like talking to a whole bunch of other people. They're just someone that they're not really. I can't talk.
They're role playing.
Yeah.
It's just role playing digitally.
You're not doing it.
Isn't that why you like to play video games to an extent, even subconsciously?
Oh fuck!
When you're playing a war game, you're not like really wanting to fight in a war, but you feel like a soldier in the war, and you're like fucking shit up. You're like, yeah, I just shot that guy.
Role playing is fun. It's video games, if anything, is just an escape. Like, while I'm playing a video game, I'm constantly thinking about shit. Like, what am I doing tomorrow and all this stuff. And when you're doing that, when I play a video game, that, like, all goes away. Yeah, and that's probably the biggest appeal.
It's a time filler.
Yeah, it's probably the biggest appeal. It's not even a time filler. For me, it's like an escape.
Well, yeah.
Like,
you get both of it, though.
Turn your brain off for a while. It's nice.
But is it, like, cathartic?
Yes.
As a drug, even?
Oh, fuck yeah. I think so. I know when I get a new game that I want really bad, I'm like, oh, God, this is great.
I mean, I know that it's definitely like a drug and something that affects your psyche actively just from watching Will play Fortnite, because that motherfucker loses it. He's a big bad wolf. If he gets in the top 3,
I tend to get kind of angry.
I'm very surprised he hasn't thrown a controller.
I'm very competitive, and I hate to motherfucking lose, and I go off sometimes. I don't do anything like too stupid, like throw a fucking controller at a wall or something.
Talking to the goons right now, you see the videos of like the people like throwing their controller through a TV.
It's basically Will.
That's not me.
That's not Will. He's like a step under that.
But I rage, like, I scream probably
this is what
10
it is.
times.
It's usually
louder.
one giant scream and then followed by a little scream, and then it's over. It'll just be like,
no, this is how it really goes. He'll lose, like he'll get shot, and it'll just be like, it'll be a little bit of a delay. He'll be like, okay, fuck! Damn it!
Dude, or what's even better is when we're playing like Smash Brothers and he knows he's losing, like when he knows he's getting his ass kicked, right before he's like dead, he'll just be like, oh, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me. And then he dies.
Yep, that's me.
I mean, we've all had rage. My sister used to yell across the hall when we were in high school when I was playing video games. That was like my peak of video games was high school.
Yeah,
and
I would agree.
I just would rage. It was Call of Duty and Halo that got me. The fighting games, or not the fighting games, but the shooters. And just other people shooting me and I didn't even know where they were. It would just get me so hard. And my sister would be like, shut up!
How hard would it get you?
It would get me... It wouldn't get me erect. It would get me.
Get the blood pumping
Thoroughly.
Ooh. Yeah. Speaking of like funny raging stories in high school, it was in college. I think I had been in college. I was probably like a freshman or something. I was playing. It was during like Christmas break. Came home, and I think I was playing COD. And I had a raging moment like that. And I'm pretty sure I said, God damn it, you motherfucker! Whoa. And my parents heard it.
No!
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, and my mom was like, Will! What are you doing down there? And I was like, I'm just playing Xbox. She's
I'm just playing a game, Mom.
She's like, why are you cussing like a sailor? And I was just like, I don't know.
You want to come try and beat this, Mom?
Yeah,
you want to
that's
beat this,
funny.
Denise? Get down here and play.
Bitches. So yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
was
My
like-
mom told me I used to throw the controller when I was like 5, when I couldn't like get a letter.
Isn't that fucked up?
It is fucked up.
I totally used to rage when I was a toddler.
It is fucked up. But I think it goes to show like how much it taps into like your emotions. Like what kind of things in this world makes you react like that? You know, like I don't even think I've had a movie that made me react like that.
No, I mean that's true. It's probably because you're controlling it.
That's exactly what it is. It's
That
like
is the
it's
thing.
like competition. Like when people like lose a baseball game, you see them rage. Same thing with video games.
That's true. I mean, I've definitely thrown my tennis racket.
Yeah.
And I've gotten docked points in tournaments.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I threw my racket. And I said, fuck. And I looked at the kid. And he looked back at me like in extreme terror. Like I'm pretty sure he was spooked from my rage.
Oh god.
Which is how I feel when I watch Will.
Yeah.
Play
So
video
rage. It's totally something out there when it comes to video games because it happens to me all the time.
I mean, it's crazy. You see these videos on YouTube with these guys that
Yeah, I mean, I
It's-
punching the TV, like
Yes.
punching it.
Yes. Didn't you send us one the other day
Yeah,
of like
the guy,
someone like
kicked through
yeah,
his
he like
TV.
threw it down, stomped on it.
Crazy. Don't do that.
That's insane.
That's too far.
Yeah.
You're wasting your money.
It's kind
Be
of
smart.
video games as a whole is kind of exciting with where we are all growing up because I mean they really started in the 80s and we weren't around then, but we've pretty much seen the full on like evolution of video games. You know, like I was playing a
It's
Nintendo Entertainment System when I
it's-
was little, which is like the OG.
Atari.
yeah. It's funny because we're like the generation that kind of has had video games for their whole entire
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, but
And
there's never
We've
been a
seen
time
so many systems. It's
There's never
crazy.
been a time where I can't remember not having them, but we have grown up with them. Like, we pretty much were playing them right when they were getting going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had only been around for less than a decade.
And now they're huge. Like, these games, like fucking
I mean, on your phone even.
fucking Rockstar, Grand Theft Auto 5, they made $1 billion. Probably more now. I think that was just in, like, the first however
I
many
think-
days.
Was that just for GTA 5?
Yeah. Just GTA 5. They made $1 billion.
And Rockstar
with a
makes
B.
a
Crazy.
lot of other games as well.
With a B. Yeah,
played it a
that's
lot.
fucking
yeah,
insane.
I mean, that's a great game.
It is a good game.
yeah.
great game.
It's just crazy how this like shit that started out as like Pong on the Atari has grown into companies like Rockstar that are making billions of dollars. Like that's insane.
Yes. Guys, I want to ask you, like, this is more video games topic. What is, like, your favorite, like, style or type of video game you like to play? Like, sports, RPG, action, shooter.
I definitely
Driving.
know mine, and I'm about to sound super fucking nerdy. Very nerdy.
Yeah.
But
Don't say turn based.
it's the truth. Oh god. No, it's not turn-based. It's a genre of video game called Metroidvania. It's like its own genre. And it started with the game Metroid and Castlevania back in, I think, the late 80s, 90s. They were the first games, those two games were the first games to make a game like this. Basically how it works is you start very not powerful at all, like most games. And then you progress, and as you progress, you'll unlock things that help you progress farther. But if you go back, some of the things that you gathered when you go back will help you get other things to help you progress farther. So it's almost like, I don't want to say it was like the first open world, but it was like the first video game where it's like, here you go. You can go anywhere you want. There's not a linear path, but you won't be able to get to certain places because you don't have certain things. So it was just kind of an exploration game, and that's like damn near. Like that's my favorite.
That's funny because I don't dislike those kind of games. The game I was referencing earlier that I bought and didn't play was Breath of the Wild. And
Which is a fucking sin.
it is, I mean, I feel bad. It's a beautiful game and it is fun, but I just don't dedicate a lot of time to it.
Yes, it's like
I just get frustrated when I don't know where to go. Like, I already feel like playing video games is kind of a waste of time. And if I'm wasting time in the game and not progressing because I just don't know where to go, like, so many hours of my life have been spent playing Zelda games that I just don't know where the fuck the next place is or the next room in a temple is, and I get so frustrated. And it's not that I'm not creative enough to figure out the puzzles. I usually eventually figure them out, but oh man, if you don't know where to go,
no, it's frustrating.
I'm
it's
like,
really
fuck.
frustrating.
I love platform games.
I swear to God, almost half of my critical thinking skills was developed through video games, and my directional skills too. Like I think, like if I drive to, if you're like, hey Blake, go to this place, North KC. This is how you get there, and you show me how to get there once, I can pretty much get back there without my GPS the second time. And I attribute that because I'm fucking wandering around caves my whole life in video games. Like, I think it just helped me. It's kind of crazy how you get like secondhand skills from playing this. And my fucking hand-eye coordination is out the ass. Like, it's insane. I like forget I'm holding the controller.
Yeah.
I'm just watching the screen.
That is very true.
I guess these are valuable skills in
Yes, I
adult
guess
life.
Yes. I would say my favorite is, I don't know, it's hard because looking back over my video game career, I guess, I've played a lot of sports games. I've also played a lot of like RPGs, and I think I get the most satisfaction out of playing RPGs.
Yeah.
Like Skyrim, I think that
baby.
that is the greatest satisfaction out of a video game that I ever have
That's one of my
received.
tops. That's one of my tops.
Just because there's so much to do, and in terms of hours, I played so many hours in that game. I don't even want to look back at.
I
what
would
it was,
not want
but-
to know collectively how many hours I played video games. It would be gross.
Yeah, probably disgusting.
Stupid, but I still like to play a lot of sports games, but I've kind of ventured off that route.
What about Fable? Is that an RPG?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that kind of like what you were talking about?
No.
Because you do go around.
Fable's more of just that's just like a classic RPG. It's like Fable is very linear.
Okay.
Like it's like you get to this guy, this event happens, it leads to the next part of the story.
Right.
It's very linear. But Fable, I guess it's not super linear though, because that was like kind
You
of the
can
first.
bop around.
That was the first game that was kind of like, well, you can go here or here.
Yeah, you
This
have a lot of
path.
options.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
I like games that are like that though, where you yourself pick the like route that you go.
Yeah.
And it kind
Yeah,
of
that is fun.
decides
Yeah.
what your fate is going to be. Like in Fable, like there's different
Yeah.
endings entirely depending on if you choose good
That's
or
how
evil.
Skyrim is.
There was
I like that.
this is just a little side note. I have a game on the PS4. It's a horror game. It's called Until Dawn. And the whole game is basically you're solving some puzzles, but you're almost just like watching a movie. And when something happens in the movie, a big event, you have to make choices. And based on those choices, the whole movie changes. There's like all these different endings. It's pretty rad.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's
How many
pretty
times
dope.
have you played?
I've played it twice, and I've purposely put it down. It's probably been about a year and a half now, because I want to play it again, but I want this big gap between next time I play it. But yeah, it's kind of like that. It was pretty fun one to play. Yeah, Metroidvania is definitely like one of my favorites, but I mean, I have like several favorites in all kinds of genres. Like shooters is definitely like Halo. Resident Evil 4 is probably a shooter that that video game I've replayed the most in my entire life. I'm not exaggerating at all. I think I've started that game and played it all the way through probably 30 times.
Really?
Shut up.
I'm not joking.
That is.
Why?
You're. An
That's a
idiot
waste
for
of time.
Yeah, that is.
It
a waste
has-
of
That
time.
straight up is a waste
It
of
has a
time.
lot of replay value. Like there's things that change when you replay it,
Say whatever you want.
and it's one of my favorite video games.
Cool.
It's
Waste
fun.
30
That's
fucking times
excessive.
out. That's.
I don't even think
Think
I've
of that in
seen
terms
Monty
of,
Python and the
like-
Holy Grail that many times, and I've watched
Yeah,
that movie more.
I mean
than
that's like me with Entourage. I've seen that series probably a good 5 to 6 times through.
I mean, even if it's like 20 times, that's a lot. But that's only me playing it like once a year.
But still, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It takes a
No,
long
it's a
time to
lot.
play a video game.
It's
It's,
a
not like
lot.
it's a 2-hour movie.
It's so fucking fun though. Like I get enjoyment out of it.
I don't know how.
Oh, it's a blast. It's just fun. You should
I-
play it and then
I
you'll figure it out.
rarely
You'll be
have
like,
fun.
oh god.
I rarely have fun playing a game twice through. Like if I know,
Like beating a campaign.
yeah, it's just kind of like, well, I know I can do it, so it's not
Yeah.
even exciting that I did it because I've already achieved it.
Yeah.
I'm not really that into that.
I mean, I'm not really into that stuff anymore. That was like when I was in my really early teen years.
So
I did.
basically,
Well, I'm judging you for it
yeah,
now.
So basically, you were a loser, is what you're saying.
Dude, I was just like summertime. We've talked about this in
I
another
know.
podcast, but the summers in between basically working my first job and like when I was older, so I was older but I wasn't working yet. Those fucking summers, I would just play video games all the fucking day, all day long. And that's when you end up playing Resident Evil 4 30 times.
Jesus.
Hey, you forgot. You were speaking of shooters.
Yeah, I like shooters.
You forgot a shooter that we just played, and it's a very good shooter. I would say it's top 3 in mine.
Oh, Doom.
ever. Yeah, Doom.
Doom was really good. They remade Doom.
Another one
The
coming
original
out.
one came out in the 80s. It's pretty classic. And they remade it for Xbox One and PS4. And me and Will were late to the game, but we got it, and it was solid. It was a really good shooter. Also, I know Fortnite catches a lot of shit because it's in the news so much, but that game was groundbreaking. I don't know if it was the first game to pull open world 100, PvP style. I don't
Yeah.
think it was. I want to say PUBG actually
It
did
was
it
one of
before.
those two.
I
I
think
don't-
PUBG actually did it before Fortnite, and the Fortnite people were just like, hey,
Thank you.
We're gonna just swoop in here and steal your idea. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's what happened. But I mean, that game is fucking groundbreaking, dude. And the crazy thing about Fortnite is I don't even think it's an original idea. I think people probably thought about shit like that when multiplayer stuff started happening in like the 2010s. But no one could do it because technology wasn't as advanced. So this goes back to the VR thing. Like, if technology keeps advancing, like, who the fuck knows what's going to happen?
I think it's inevitable. Like technology is going in that direction, and there will probably be enough people to propel it. Like there'll be enough people that are into it, and I think that there's going to be enough people that aren't, like us, that want the controller and the TV. Like I'll take a simplified, more
Yeah.
ergonomic version. Like if you keep coming out with controllers that are maybe like attached to your hand and seamless or
Probably
whatever.
always a market for that.
Yeah, like I'll probably prefer to play that than VR, but I bet there's gonna be a bunch of people that do.
PUBG was the first.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Fortnite.
It was like a prototype before it. But
But yeah, I mean, I saw an interview where someone was like, look, if the Xbox One and the PS4 weren't as technologically advanced as they are, this kind of game couldn't be pulled off.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
I remember playing Fortnite and like listening to my Xbox. Every time I would turn it on, it would be so damn loud.
Yeah,
like,
it would like the fan would go crazy.
Yeah,
because the device is just like, oh Jesus, this is a big one.
Yes. Yes.
I also like turn-based games and puzzle games too, though. Those are good. I do like turn-based games. Pokemon, fucking epic.
What about
Pokemon Stadium in 64? Is that what you're talking about?
Just Pokemon.
Or just
I like
Pokemon on the Game Boy?
turn-based on handheld? That's it. I don't
Yes.
want.
I agree
Why do I have this
with-
big ass TV for turn-based?
I agree with Al there.
Would you not play Pokemon Yellow on this TV?
Maybe, but probably not.
Yeah.
Like I would. It's
I think
just
you would
as
kind of
good
take
on
away.
your hands.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd take it anywhere.
Yeah. Take that shit in the car, play for hours.
I mean, that's where Nintendo's moving. I've heard rumors that Nintendo isn't going to release a console anymore.
I heard that too.
Yeah. Like, they're just going straight to portables. Like, that's their new thing. I mean, the Switch is basically like
It's like a hybrid.
a super... I mean, the Wii U was kind of a hybrid, but the Switch is, like, way more. They just took the Wii U and made it more of that.
Mm-hmm.
The Switch is pretty dope.
Yeah, I'm buying one this year. Pretty pumped.
Yeah.
With the new Smash Bros.
Yeah.
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 One more time.
What do you guys think about? I'm gonna switch it up. What do you think about the whole argument that violence in video games leads to real violence?
Before we get into this discussion, by the way, fucking A+ question there, Al.
That was a good one.
You're welcome.
I studied this in my undergrad.
Yeah, Blake would know the most about this, like, in terms of, like, how our brain works.
I studied this in my undergrad, and I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
I saw...
Is it the chicken or the egg?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. I saw a shitload of research that pointed to it making people angrier. And I was like, oh, shit. And then I saw a shitload of research that pointed to it relieving anger. So I don't know what the answer is.
I think it just depends on if you're good or not. Because I suck at video games most of the time. I mean, I'm probably better than average, but I'm sucky compared to people that are good. And it made me angrier. For sure. No doubt about it. Call of Duty made me a worse person.
Just
like,
because of,
100%
But
it did.
is that video games? Or
It's
is
because
that...
there were so many people that were better than me at that game, and they were all like 12, and I was a 16-year-old trying to beat them, and they whooped my ass. And I would be good enough, often enough to justify like continuing to play, and like it got the drug in me. But then I would just get fucking stomped back down, and I would yell, and I would lose my voice.
So
And it elevated me in ways that shouldn't occur.
Yeah. Blake, go ahead.
here's the
babe.
thing. There's a kink in the hose with what you just said. It does do all that stuff. But that isn't video games doing that. That's competition doing
Yes,
that to
it
you.
is. I
True, but that's like the only reason I do anything.
But
is
it-
competition.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
No, I love
It's fun.
competition. It's
Makes
great.
things much better.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely raged, but it's not because of the video game. It's because of competition. So, like, if I was playing kickball, and I got that into it like I would the video game, I would probably rage as well. I think in the research I read, the argument was like, if you play Grand Theft Auto and you mow down, groups of people virtually, does that make you more likely to do it in real life?
Right.
That's like the real thing.
Yeah.
My question to that is, who's to say that the kids, like, it could be innate or inevitable that the person has violent tendencies. Maybe the game brings it out, and maybe the game exposes them to specific methods in which to create violence or enact violent things in public to other people who are innocent. And maybe the video games are providing an outlet in which the person can diffuse those tendencies away from public and the privacy of their own home, and it's all fake. Like, it's all make believe.
Yeah, that's a good
Is it like,
good rebuttal to the argument, that's for sure.
and I don't think you can ever really prove one side or the other. Like I said, is it the chicken or the egg? Is it, video games bringing out the violence in somebody and then that person does violent things? Or is it violent people really like violent games and they're going to do violent things anyway? They just happen to play violent video games.
It's hard to figure out.
Because I've played those games and I haven't fucked anybody up.
Right.
Yeah.
I've never even really been in a fight. I'm a pussy.
This
goes
is
to
my
my-
take. Well, you go for it, Will.
My answer is just like, it depends on the individual. Like Al just said, if you're a really violent person and you like really violent games, like chances are that video game wasn't what really triggered you going off on someone. Like, could it be? Yes, but is that really like the biggest thing that
Yeah, I agree. So this is my thought. It's a little complex. I don't think video games make people violent. That's like where I stand on the question. But there's a caveat. So in psych, there's a term called priming, and it's when you are exposed to when you're exposed to something long enough, it will prime your brain to basically have that in the forefront.
Right.
So if you go to a scary movie on Halloween and you come back home, that's when you randomly start thinking, is there someone in the house? Like that's priming for you, like to a T. So playing Grand Theft Auto I don't think that's going to like make me want to go kill people. But, if I didn't see virtual people killing virtual people, it might make me even less likely to do that. So like what I'm saying is, I don't think it makes people do that, but it might prime you slightly to maybe think about that more. It might be in the forefront. And here's my big argument about why video games shouldn't be banned. Violent video games shouldn't be banned. Because fucking violent movies were around way before video games.
Well, they kind of lump them into the same thing, video games and movies. Like, people that make the argument about banning violence in media, I think it's just like in general. But
I mean, this is getting super political, but I think the United States is super, super desensitized to violence. And I don't know if that's like a good thing or not.
Yeah.
I think it's just a fetish. Like, enough people like it that people will produce content that is violent because of the demand, because they know they can make money off of it.
Fuck
The
yeah.
U.S. is it's about business.
No, you're totally right. If it bleeds, it leads. That's what I've always heard.
That's exactly it.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I mean, I don't want to play, like, there's some super fucking violent video games. There's one, I think it's like Manhunter or something. It was released in the 90s, and it is just fucked up. Like, you are a serial killer, and you're like just breaking into houses and just straight up like murdering people in the worst ways possible. Like, that's the video game.
That's fucked up.
No, it is.
That type of video game is fucked up.
But then you get into censorship. Like, shouldn't a grown adult be able to make the choice to buy that if they want to? I don't know.
True.
I don't know what the answer is. It's a gray area.
It's life. What's right?
I don't
what's
want
wrong.
that. I like playing GTA. I don't want to fucking play Manhunter. I think that's the name. I don't know. If someone's listening and they know, just leave a comment. I don't want to play that fucking game. That's just like next level violent. I just don't need that in my life.
Yeah, that makes me cringe.
Yeah.
It's like too real.
Yeah. It's like super real.
I don't want to.
Well, they, I think in Grand Theft Auto, even, they censor the gore to an extent Like, if you hit somebody with a car, they don't
Yeah.
crack their head open and blood squirts everywhere. Like, they don't even really show
They're just
the
like fall
bodies
over.
being, like, mutilated. It's just they're on the ground.
Yep.
Which is still fucked up.
I mean, it is fucked up, and I will tell you, while we're on this topic, when I'm driving in my car and there's somebody walking across the street, I almost every time think about running them over,
Priming.
like hitting them.
That's the priming.
Because in
That's
Grand
the
Theft
priming.
Auto, that was one of my favorite things to do, is just drive around and fucking hit people on the sidewalk, just boom, 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 like fuck them up, man. It was awesome. You get out, start spraying them down.
Dude, I think you have, I think you have a problem.
just go around and kill people.
Okay, you sound crazy, Al, but you're
Straight
not.
up.
You're not though,
That's
because
what we
like
did.
everyone thinks like if you're
Get
running,
a bazooka and
that's the fucking priming. That's priming. Like I know you have enough. Like you're not gonna have a psychological break or anything. Like your head is very sound, so it's not like you're gonna do that stuff. But the exposure of it makes you think about it more than you would if you weren't playing it.
It does.
Also, the game, that fucked up one is called Manhunt.
Manhunt.
I looked it up.
Jeez.
Fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
And
I
it
like-
was also published by Rockstar Games.
I am a fan of liberty and people being able to pursue whatever they want, and that includes a business that can make money off of shit that people want, which may include violence, gore, sex, whatever. But at the same time, I like personally wish it weren't there. It's kind of like porn. We just talked about sex
is.
last week.
It is.
Fucking, have I watched a lot of it? Yeah. Did I like it when I was watching it? Like, obviously it did the trick, but like, I hate it. I hate that it exists, and I hate that I was exposed to it. Like, if I could
Sure.
take it away, I would. And if I could unsee myself spraying people down with a automatic machine gun
Yeah.
in the streets of whatever that town is,
Yeah, I don't know the city.
they change.
San Andreas.
San Andreas.
The last one was in Cali.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Whatever.
it exposes you, and it's not good. I remember my parents trying to protect me. I remember being over at one of my early best friend's house, Adam V, and he had Killer Instinct or Mortal Kombat. And, like,
M-rated.
dude, well, at the time it was T.
Yeah.
And I remember my mom being like, you cannot play that.
Just like ripping people's skeletons out and bashing their
Yeah, my mom
skulls
was
in.
like, you can't play that. And like, I totally fucking played that shit.
Yeah.
I was like, Adam, fire that shit up.
My mom bought Grand Theft Auto 3 for me when I was in like 8th grade.
Oh,
She bought it for, she didn't know what it was.
I wouldn't
It's
do
just
it.
a black cover.
I couldn't, if I had kids, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't
She
do
didn't know.
I
It
remember
was mature rated.
I mean,
They're
I'm
like,
not
are you
saying-
sure you want to buy this for your son? And I'm like, yeah.
my
What's it?
brothers
She's like,
had
"I
that
guess."
game, and I remember playing it.
Yeah.
And I remember like Mike coming down. Mike's my dad, and they were talking about some shit. They were dropping F-bombs, and
In the game?
yeah, he's like, turn that shit off. I was like, yeah, I will, because this is really weird.
Yeah, I know.
And awkward.
Resident Evil 4, the one I was talking about earlier, very gory game. And I probably had that when I was like 14 or 15. And I remember taking it over to, my parents are split up, I've talked about it before, but taking it over to my dad's house. And I remember I would only play it when he was like working on something. Like he would be like in the garage. I'm like, I'm going to play this now. Because if he sees this, he's going to be like, what the hell are you playing? Also, Al, speaking of porn, fucking VR porn is blown up. And that's, what's your thought
Oh,
on
I
that,
bet.
guys?
I bet it is.
What's your
VR
thought?
porn.
Yeah,
Why
it's
didn't
a-
we talk about this
Speaking
last
of
night?
It's a real
introverted
thing. Well, we'll
people
just-
that never come out of their houses,
Yeah.
that's going to be the number one breed.
No, it's like, I like think I saw,
Just have your dick sucked all day? Virtually?
I think I saw an article about VR porn in like Time recently. Like
Dude.
it's like blowing up. Like people are doing it a lot.
So, like, what if it gets to a point And this is going to sound like I've totally thought about this before, but I honestly haven't until just now.
Just do it, dude.
What if it gets to the point where you can like customize the girl or the partner
That's
in the
fucked
porn?
up.
Like you can like make it look like a celebrity
I
or
think
somebody
that's-
you know.
I think that is already here.
That is
It is?
fucked up.
Like, I'm sure you can already, like,
bad for us.
if you're playing, like, Skyrim, you can customize your character. I'm sure in those VR porn games you can. I don't see why the fuck you wouldn't. In
It's
fact, they'd
probably-
probably capitalize on that.
It probably is bad for us.
Oh, my God, yeah.
But like, what if there's somebody that in a hypothetical future would rape somebody, but was able to get it out of his system in the virtual world and didn't end up raping them because of that outlet?
I feel like if you did the VR first and you liked it, there would be like a greater chance.
You got the taste.
This is
It
the
actually
same.
happened.
This is
Flesh.
the exact same argument, but with sex, with
Yeah.
violence. It's the same argument.
Just exposure to
It's
colorful
like,
things.
It's like if you're exposed to something you shouldn't do, does that make you not do it, or does that make you do it more?
Yep.
That's the whole argument. So I don't
Moderation.
fucking know.
Life
folks.
decisions.
You're gonna have your dick sucked virtually. You
That's
know,
just
maybe
weird,
just
though.
do it once a
Dude,
week.
it
Because
is
you
weird.
could. The way I look at that is, I would if
Just-
like let's just say I got into virtual reality porn, and I feel like I would almost enjoy that more than
You absolutely would.
yeah, like
That's gonna
Than
feel
actual sex.
That's gonna feel. Oh, then actual sex is that?
no,
what you were
not
gonna
like
say?
actual sex,
Like,
but like
if you were gonna watch porn and pulling it up on your computer versus doing VR porn, the VR
Yes.
porn is gonna feel 5 times more real.
exactly.
no shit.
I mean, it definitely is gonna feel more real.
But I feel like people would get so addicted to that then.
Oh, fuck
like,
yeah.
No, that's what I was saying
Yeah,
about
that's
the whole
dangerous.
Yeah.
new breed of people. Like VR is just
Bad,
more real,
bad,
more
bad
senses, way more addicting.
What if VR porn just solves our overpopulation crisis?
That's
All
what
the-
I'm saying. Like, what if it's so good that they don't even need sex?
It's so bad that it's good.
Yeah, people
It's
are
so
just like,
yeah, maybe it's
people
so
are
good
just
that it's
like-
bad that it's good again.
Yeah. So we're really confusing you today. We're talking about video games and then we go into virtual reality porn.
that's right.
Yes, that's us, everyone.
There's gonna be games that are the hybrid of it, and it's like, it's gonna be like.
Pokemon with titties.
You remember? No, I'm actually, now that you say Pokemon, I'm envisioning the Pokemon Stadium mini game where you had to flick the Ekans onto the Diglets.
I'm done.
You know how
They
you had to
said-
flick the
they said
Ekans?
Ekans
It
every
was like
time.
ring the whatever. I'm picturing that, but like you got your virtual dick there, and you have to like squirt little cum shots into the virtual.
That's where
You're-
I lost you.
You're way
Sluts.
you're way far behind, dude. There was like adult games coming out in the 80s.
But like virtual.
And
Oh, yeah,
And
that-
Blake
that's not
played
right.
them.
I have. I actually own
Backdoor
VR
Sluts
goggles and a sex doll.
Can I
No, I
see it?
Pocket
No,
pussy,
I don't.
fleshlight. You own one of them?
Yeah, dude, I've got 7.
Why do you need so
Okay,
many?
dude.
I only like to wash them once a week.
Yeah, he likes a different type of.
No,
Cool,
for real
sick.
though, for real. Yeah, it's a weird one. I don't know what that's gonna do to society.
I think it's safe to say it's probably negative.
Oh yeah, as far as like relationships and stuff, fuck yeah. That's
Yeah, I hate how real it is now. I don't like how you can contact somebody right away. You're in a virtual world, you're gonna be able to like be with somebody,
Yeah,
even
no,
though
it's
you're out
real.
of town.
It's
just
real.
like I need space.
Do you guys know there is like I forget like people pour money into an online reality. Like I was watching this thing this one time and it was talking about an auction for this place. Like they were selling this place in this online game. It was some computer game that like a shitload of people play. And I think they were selling like a planet. Like the planet was being sold. There was all these cities on the planet, and they had a real life auction. It went for like hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of real life dollars. Yeah.
When was this?
Like someone bought just coding in a game.
It's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
I don't doubt it, and I don't doubt that it's gonna be even worse in the future.
I mean, yeah.
Speaking of coding, the science behind video games,
I don't know how they do it.
it is crazy. Especially nowadays. Like the graphics,
I have no
tremendous.
idea. I have no idea
But
how they
as
do.
I
Like,
would say, they're too real.
it doesn't even. I can't even comprehend how people make those games.
There's still a lot of room for improvement.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
there
excited
totally
to see
is.
where it goes.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy when we're like 50. I don't know what the games are gonna look like then.
Yeah, I mean, once I have kids, I'm not gonna have time to play video games. But I feel like once I'm older and retired, I'm gonna dive back into video games,
Yeah.
like hardcore.
I've seen research about like they like nursing homes.
Mm-hmm.
Nursing home.
Now you feel like
Should we
me.
sign
dude.
you up?
That's like that's a,
Me in one. I can't
it's
speak.
an every day.
Nursing homes have bought like Wii's and they do like Wii bowling in it, and like the retention rate as far as like memory goes in those nursing homes are higher than other ones. So like it definitely, like if you can't be physically active, it definitely helps in keeping your mind alive.
Brain exercise.
Yeah, I mean that is one really good thing about video games. It keeps your mind.
Yeah, it'll keep you
working
sharp. So yeah,
and-
late in
yeah.
life, they're probably going to be great, especially if you get like a puzzle game. That would be really nice.
No, I want to play like Call of Duty, fucking little kids up.
No, what you want to do when you're 60, VR porn, dude.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
I mean, maybe. Fuck. So basically, there's just a lot of good things about video games. There's a lot of potential danger. So swim at your own risk.
Yeah, could
Go
be good.
mow some people down with a machine gun in
Could
the
be bad.
streets. In the video game, not in real life,
Yeah,
folks.
don't do that. Love your neighbor and give someone a hug.
Yeah. Or just play Mario Kart and go around in circles.
Or if you're really lonely, get VR and hug a virtual person.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What if you fell in love with a virtual?
That's
That's like
not
AI
talk
shit.
about it.
Another episode.
That is another episode. So
I don't really want to
Love you,
do
goons.
that.
it was real.
See you
It was
later.
fun. Video games
Kiss
were
me.
over.
Okay.
See ya. Goodbye.